Welcome to SSPTV Community News. I'm Lisa Sugart. Will there be enough home heating oil to heat your home this winter? And will you be able to afford it? Local fuel oil dealers in our area gathered for a news conference to talk about the problem and possible solutions.
My name is Bill Gallagher. I'm the owner of Hazelton Standard Fuel, a small family-run heating oil business for the last 70 years. And I wanted to invite everybody here and the press to discuss a problem that we see coming this winter. And it's going to be a supply, demand, and cost issues. You know, the price has such swings in a day. Prices can change 30, 35, 40 cents a gallon when we're buying it. And we're having a lot of problems, not only getting product, but when it comes, paying for it. In the old days, you know, the old oil companies used to send out the bills at the end of the month and you would send them a check. Well, now when you're paying $35,000, $40,000 for a tanker load of oil, you can't wait 30 days to get paid. And I see that as being a problem, that we're all going to hit our credit limits. The banks, due to the government, don't want to hear anything about fossil fuels. They don't want to help you up your credit limits. It just doesn't matter to them. And if we, as a small voice, don't try to do something, a lot of the small oil companies, which in the Hazelton area, almost everyone is, probably won't make it till Christmas. And if we get the product, it has to be paid for. And our other second problem is getting the product. We're stretching out further and further to try to bring the loads of oil in.
The fact is, diesel fuel and coal are the resources that run the whole world, right? And those are the ones that are now in jeopardy. And honestly, it's causing basically a global recession, if not depression. That's what our actions here in the U.S., in particular, on the East Coast, are doing. That's what's happening. So we can't afford to buy any more heating oil. Our truck drivers are getting paid more and more. We've made 4 pay increases to truck drivers just to keep them on in the last year. So all of our expenses are up. Our risk is up. The NYMEX moves 30, 40, 50, 60 cents a day. For 150 years, it never moved more than 0.2 of a penny a day. We're in a whole different world. We used to be able to say, I'll give you a price for tomorrow, or the next day, or the next day. Now, that price 3 days later could be $1 more. So we're delivering heating oil that we can't afford to buy, that they can't afford to pay for. That's what's happening every day, right now. This isn't what if, it's now. And if it goes up another $1 or $2, freeze everything. Everything stops. Everything stops. Nobody can afford to buy another gallon of diesel fuel. Diesel fuel is the global fuel. And it's in big jeopardy right now, mostly because this administration will not encourage investment in these facilities. We need new assets on the East Coast to keep people safe, heated, cheap, inexpensive energy. It's under our feet, we're ignoring it.
In an effort to find a solution, these fuel oil dealers are contacting state and federal officials, and they're asking you, our viewers, to do the same.
We're meeting with the PPA, the Pennsylvania Petroleum Administration, at their board meeting. And we're going to try to get to Senator Yaw, chairman of the Pennsylvania Energy Commission. That's what we'd like to do. People are going to not get heating oil this winter. Residents are not going to get heating oil this winter. We're driving all over God's green earth to get it too. We used to just drive to Kingston or DuPont. Now we're going to Allentown, Philadelphia. You got to get closer to the refinery now to get it, because it's not coming out this far. And it's only in the last 4 days that I've seen on national news that this has come up. I've been screaming for 6 months. We have a diesel fuel crisis.
A lot of people opened their eyes today. I actually wasn't aware of what was going on with the providers of this oil. And when I get back to my office, Governor Wolf's office will be called with their concerns. The bottom line here is, I come from a working family. My mother worked in the garment industry, my father worked at Tenneco for 30 years. So I could relate to people that are struggling, that work paycheck to paycheck. And for the providers that have been providing this product to the same people that worked all their lives for 30 or 40 years. And we put them in jeopardy now. When they're calling you saying, could you deliver 25 gallon? Do you know why they're calling you for 25 gallon? That's all they could afford. Government's failed. All of government. Let's not finger point, Republican or Democrat. All of government has failed. Especially our senior citizens, we put them at risk. People that work their entire life are in jeopardy, very dangerous. Like you said, it hasn't been cold. God forbid it's a cold winter. There's elderly people that are going to be put in a dangerous situation here.
What they're asking for, let's put it into perspective. If you have a credit card with a $2,500 limit on it, and your credit is good, you call that company and say, I want this up to $10,000, you get it the next day. These people aren't asking for handouts. They want their credit limits extended. That's all they're looking for. They're going to pay it back. But I talk to constituents every day, like Representative Schnee said, they're not worried, they're scared. Most of our trucks run on diesel fuel. I have one plow truck that runs on gasoline. We have a huge tank over in our facility over there. We get 2 snowstorms out of that tank. If we can't get fuel oil and we can't plow the streets, they're not delivering anything to supermarkets. You can't get through the snow. People aren't getting out of their homes. If the ambulance or fire trucks have to get to your house, it's going to be bad. That's how we're looking at it also. It's just a terrible situation. These guys want their credit limits extended. I think somebody on the federal level needs to step up to the plate here. There needs to be changes in this country, and they need to be made yesterday, not today, yesterday.
Still to come on SSPTV Community News, helping homeless veterans, plus raising money to fight cancer, and today's social report.